make sure you're subscribed to Jerkrispy.
Right. Let's go ahead and get this stuff started. Anyways, what's up, y'all? Show's most does the most. Jerkrispy, welcome back to another video. How are these a threat? By Chris Rich the rap yaps. I mean, not raps, yaps. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for a lot of my new viewers. Make sure y'all subscribe. Tell a friend and family that your boy Jerkrispy on the way, and we're on the road to 500. Let's get it! In the morning, in the evening, not alone, not alone.
So we got the sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll never forget. People been praying for years for a Five Nights at Freddy's movie to come out. And the creator, Scott Cawthon, was just sitting back in his mansion with his bag he made from dropping over 10 games of straight heat. Talking about some...
But really, why don't you go ahead and make us a patty?
No, I don't really feel like it.
It wasn't until they came out with Willy's Wonderland that had Scott like, he copied my whole fucking flow!
That gets me through the phone!
He copied my whole fucking flow! Word for word, bar for bar!
And he decided to get back into the lab and show everyone why you can't do it like the original. So assuming everybody's seen Five Nights at Freddy's 1, the second movie starts off back in 1982, with all these kids at Freddy's, just having a blast. All of them except one kid though.
Cause this girl is just sitting here, acting like them people that have to let everyone know they're staying to themselves, when one of her friends comes up to give her a drink.
Like, we know that's what you wanted this whole time, bruh.
If you didn't have any money to buy a drink, you could have just asked. But the girls, Vanessa and Charlotte, go back to sit down at a table. And while they're waiting for the show to start, Charlotte notices some crazy shit that would have had Courage the Cowardly Dog moving like. She sees some random little kid getting taken to the back of the building by some strange man in a robot bunny suit. I swear furries are never beating the allegations. And she's like,
Hey yo, what the fuck?
and it's here where I realized why there's no black people in Five Nights at Freddy's. Because unlike what a black person would do, which is pretend like they don't see that shit and continue minding their own business, she tries to go tell a trusted adult. But they all treat her like how you, yes you, be treating the people who stand outside the grocery store asking for donations. They tell her to get the fuck out of here. So she's like,
hey, fuck it.
I don't know who to talk about you, but shoot, I bless somebody. Mind you, if I don't got it, I don't got it. But shoot, I bless somebody if they need it, you know? Right.
and decides to go back there herself. And when she gets back there, she sees the kid knocked smooth out. Like, what could he have possibly done to get him asleep this fast? And the man not paying any attention to what's going on behind him, like he's Stan Lee. So she gets to the kid, picks him up, showing everybody why deadlifting is actually a conventional exercise, and she tries to escape. But I'm watching this, and I'm expecting her to pull off some insane Dead by Daylight tactics, bending corners, dropping pallets, flashlight stuns. But instead of doing that, she does a different kind of tech. She just runs in this straight ass line, and somehow she manages to escape. She then lets out this yell like she made in And 1.
I walk shit down, nigga!
And collapses to reveal 3 stab wounds in her back.
Oh.
With the crowd just sitting there, watching it like it's the first act of the night. Like, yo, fuck y'all doing? Y'all clearly see a little girl bleeding out on stage, and y'all just sitting there admiring it like it's a brand new exhibit in a museum. No wonder she was pissed off. I would have been mad too.
I'm mad too. Man, no, you not.
And then they got the nerve to say it was an accident. So Charlotte's soul was like, yeah, alright, I'll show y'all an accident. And she possesses the marionette that was holding on to her dead body.
And goes on to wait 20 years to catch her first body.
So the 20 years go by, and we see Abby from the first movie, telling all of her friends about how she survived being at the first Freddy's location, gassing up the story like,
one nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, bow.
We then cut to her in class, and she just can't let that Freddy shit go. She in here trying to cook up a mini version of Chica, making it for the school science fair. but she's failing miserably, which is when the teacher walks up and sees what she got going on. And it's so trash that it makes the teacher hit the Homelander pose. He then just tells her to sit this one out, and he'll give her an automatic A. And if it was me, I would have been like, oh, word?
I would be like, oh, for real? Cutback would have did this. Like, D's would have been like, oh, you ain't got to tell me twice. Automatic A.
Like, I used to pray for my teachers to tell me some shit like this, bruh.
Right.
Fuck the science fair. But her friend tells her that she should go back and try and see if she can fix the animatronics.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, the same animatronics that tried to kill her and her brother. And she's like,
That's a great idea.
so when she gets back home, she tries to ask Mike to take her back to Freddy so she can fix them. And Mike, rightfully not wanting to go anywhere back near that place, lies to her and tells her they're broken. And Abby is like,
Is that a fact or are you just making that shit up?
No. That's a fact.
Like, yo, bro, are you making this shit up or are you grabbing actual public information from the federal case?
she clearly doesn't believe him. So she waits for Mike to go on his date with Vanessa's fine ass. And damn, bruh, I could see why she had Joe Goldberg tweaking. You telling me Mike about to crack her buns and Abby wants him to go play with some toys? Yeah, no. But at the end of the date, Mike hits her with this. And so he goes home, just to find out he now has to go find his sister, who went to the place he specifically told her not to go. So he has to make his way back to Freddy's for like the 10th time.
Why does this keep happening to me?
That's
So
crazy.
he pulls up to find Abby sitting all alone, since the animatronics are all missing for some reason. And he feels bad, so he tells her to just pick a toy up off the ground, take it home, and they can call it a day. And out of everything she could have possibly picked, she decides to take a goddamn communicator that allows her to talk directly to the animatronics. If I was Mike, I would have been looking at her like, but he lets her keep it.
I swear I would have been looking like her, like he just posted. Like, you know what? You might need to just stay here by yourself. It's what it is. Not gonna hold you. I don't know why we still in here at the first point. You know what? Scratch this thing in here. Drop a toy. Drop this. I'm gonna start have a light in the credits, in the movies right there. Corey Kenshin would never pop up ever again. And you know, I would have called a cab and called that. That's it.
And on the way back to his car, he grabs a flyer off the wall who was clearly made by somebody with common sense, and he keeps it. We then cut to this group of paranormal investigators who got the bright idea of pulling up to the other Freddy's location. Now let me refresh your memory real quick, because I do yap a lot. Not this Freddy's location, but the one Charlotte got murdered at 20 years ago. Now you remember how I just said Charlotte has been waiting 20 years to catch her first body? Like a dude who just got his first gun and is itching to shoot that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. The security guard lets them in, and...
Hello.
And yo, this dude who's supposed to be the security guard hears her scream, and this is his reaction.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, what is there to smile about right now, bruh? You're next! But to no one's surprise, the entire group gets slimed out. And we then cut to Abby, still trying to gas up her robot. Like, that shit's not gonna work. So she gives up and tries to talk to the animatronics, who aren't responding to her. We then cut to Vanessa, going through some of the worst cases of PTSD somebody could go through, all thanks to her dad. So she decides to say fuck all the bullshit and tries to jack into her own dream world like how they be doing in the Matrix, so she can face her fears and overcome the trauma her dad gave her. But even in dreams, this nigga William is just so much of a menace, he still can't be defeated, pulling a move straight out of Michael Myers' back. So we cut back to Abby, and the animatronics finally reach back out to her. So she gets all happy and follows their directions to Charlotte's Freddy's location. Shit, I wish I would've snuck out this many times.
Yeah, and I ain't lying to you. I would have woke up Steve and said, "Hey, Steve," they finally responded back to me and stuff like that. I would have woke up Steve. I would have not go by myself. I would have went with a group of people. They might be sacrificed, but it is what it is. I know I'm gonna tell the story for the next day on the bus.
When I was a kid, if I didn't get killed by the animatronics, my parents would have whooped my ass.
Right.
But she sees the new and improved Chica.
Hey, no, stop. Just calm down. Don't do it.
We then fast forward to the morning, and Vanessa just straight up walks into.
I don't think that would have been that bad. You know, going by myself, seeing Chica. I mean, Chica a friend. You know, we could be friends, and she could introduce me to the puppet, and you know, I could be cool with the puppet.
Mike's house uninvited. Like, damn, bruh, who the hell she thinks she is?
Right.
What if you walk
on? Ain't knock on the door or nothing like that. Like just straight. Yeah, I own this house too. Like, no, you don't.
in, and I'm just in the middle of the floor gooning. Wait, no, I can't say that because Abby lives there too. But you get the point, bruh. I need my privacy. But she gets jump scared by Abby, and Abby is like, hey, look at this robot me and Chica built last night. And Vanessa is like,
no. No, no.
Say you swear to God.
So when Mike gets back home, Vanessa tries to tell Mike, but Mike ain't trying to hear none of that shit. And he's like, you let everybody else crack the first night, but as soon as I get my turn, oh, that's when you want to start taking things slow. So they get into this argument, and Vanessa storms off. And thinking it's gonna make her situation any better, she pulls up to Freddy's, and she sees the marionette is out of the box, and ends up getting caught by the first victim. Snow Bunny on Snow Bunny crime is not what I thought I would be talking about in 2026. Wow. But we cut to Abby, and she decided to pull up to the science fair anyways, bringing the project she worked on with Chica. And the teacher sees her and is like, what? And he purposely breaks her project. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I say a lot of fucked up shit, but even I have to admit, that was fucked up.
Yep.
So Abby cries and goes back to her main shooter, Chica, who's just been ready to pull up for straight smoke. But first, they have to get the perimeter lock off. So unknown to Abby, they get the code out of Vanessa, who's been held hostage this entire time. And she puts in the code, freeing the animatronics, making the rest of the gang pull up.
Hey.
So Abby and Chica go on to call a taxi, and dudes really just be doing anything in the world but dropping a YouTube video. Shit be crazy, bruh. Like, what do they be doing? Good thing I don't relate to that shit. But we cut to Mike pulling up to the person's house that made the flyer. And it turns out that it's Charlotte's dad. And he basically fills Mike in on the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. That shit got more plot points than American history, bruh. So he probably just sat Mike down, threw on a YouTube video like this, and called it a day. He then gave Mike a box that had songs strictly from the artists performing at Rolling Loud this year. So you already know that's gonna put Charlotte straight back to sleep, solving this whole problem. We then cut to school, and Chica Shiesty is just patiently waiting to catch Abby's teacher lacking. She finally does, trapping him in a room with just her. If that was me, do not save me. I'm right where I want to be. I ain't trapped in there with her. She's trapped in there with me. But I wouldn't need saving anyways. Because do you see how slow she's moving? All I have to do is hit her with one of these, and her whole entire software systems are malfunctioning. But unfortunately, the teacher isn't built like that. He can't do the hezzies that fat niggas are starting to do with their food now. So she grabs a hold of his head and squeezes him like the Great Khali until his head pops like a balloon, sliding him out in the worst way. We then see Mike arriving at Freddy's, and he keeps hearing the same thing you hear in Diddy's basement, screams from a girl. So he checks it out and sees Vanessa. You gonna let me crack now?
No, nigga!
So Vanessa tells Mike that the animatronics are roaming free now, like they just spawned into a GTA Online public lobby, and they need to shut them down from the computer. So Mike goes to the computer, while Vanessa goes to save the innocent civilians from getting slimed out by the murderous robot furries. And I'm not gonna lie, Mike low-key got it easy right now. I played Five Nights at Freddy's 2 countless times. I know all the strats like it's the back of my hand. So while Vanessa is driving, she gets attacked by Mangled Foxy, causing her to swerve off the road and slams her head on the steering wheel. And I don't know how she ate that shit like it was a bag of potato chips, but she don't even got a scratch or a bruise on her, brushing that shit off like it's some dust. But Foxy was looking to change that shit real quick by gripping her with one hand and trying to pull her out the car. But she breaks free and she manages to drive Foxy to Toy Freddy's location thanks to the call-outs given by Mike. Bro was really pulling up on this innocent couple like the Green Goblin. But Vanessa smashed through the house and manages to take out Freddy and Foxy at the same time. So back to Mike. He mastered the tech of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 within the first 5 minutes. I Show Speed can't relate. And just when he thinks he's safe, Withered Chica and Foxy pulls up on him. Chica gets fooled by the shiesty, but Foxy is sitting there hitting him with the dokes look. He not buying that shit, bruh. Mike even tried to pump fake that shit, but Foxy was just not going. So Mike locks in and gets the animatronics turned off before he gets clapped, and before Toy Bonnie slimes out this mother and daughter. But when Mike looks back at the computer, he can see there's still one animatronic online, and it's at his house, meaning it's with Abby. And before Mike can even get to the house, Abby gets attacked by the marionette, and the animatronics all get activated again. So Mike pulls a Hail Mary, and he drives back to the other location and tries to talk to the animatronics, begging and pleading for them to help him save Abby. This is how all of us used to be begging with our parents after they caught us on the game at 4 a.m. laughing like this. But Vanessa makes it to Abby, and she gets attacked. And right when Abby's about to send her to meet the person the Michael Jackson movie is based on, Mike makes it there just in time to get the marionette, aka Charlotte, out of Abby's body, saving her. And it's right here when they get surrounded by all the toy animatronics, as well as this nigga. But we find out that he's William's son and Vanessa's brother.
It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was number one.
And Mike is like, yo, so it just never ends with you, huh? Why do all of your loved ones want to kill me? Fuck do I look like? Scott Pilgrim? But during the next scene, I had to make sure I was still watching Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and not Avengers 4 because they gave us this.
Hey, Captain Remy. Captain Sam, can you hear me? On your left.
Ass scene. And the animatronics from the first movie pull up and they destroy the toy ones, which brings the movie to an end. Mike and Abby leave the house and Vanessa tries to go with them, but Mike is like,
hey LeBron, Ben Simmons is here. We're all good.
And he leaves Vanessa standing there, and she gets possessed by the marionette. So you already know there's gonna be a third movie.
And ever since he said that last one, Ben Simmons been trash. The third one, that's gonna be the scariest one. The third one and that fourth one is gonna be the scariest one.
I'd actually like to see what they do with it, considering Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is one of my favorite games, second to the fourth one, but they kind of lost me with.
Yeah, the next two is definitely about to be the scariest one. Hands down about to be the most scariest one. If it's not, then I don't know what to tell you. In the morning. But hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow our social media platform. Going on the Real 500, and I'm out.